Now we're cooking. It's the coach. This is NFL football on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Chicago Bears. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Now, the good news, Coach, is that the winds aren't as violent as they were yesterday in Chicago, but it's still pretty darn cold. To be expected, I guess, for December football at Soldier Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. Now, they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, it's been perfection so far. They come in here unbeaten at 14-0.
And just 2 wins away from doing something only 2 teams have ever done. But the most important thing for them now is to make it to the postseason in one piece.
Go now. 60 Pittsburgh. Right there. I'm coming.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's 2nd down now. And on your screen, the offensive starters, Jarvis Landry, a guy that we profile.
Love his game. Not only is he going to beat you with athleticism, he's going to outwork you as well. And look for him to hurt you also in the kick return game.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Open man is Trey Burton. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down. The numbers for him from a week ago: 6 catches, 63 yards.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
A first down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. And it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. We'll look now at our starting defense. Currently number 1 in the NFL against the run.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now you've got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air.
Now Cohen, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They'll look to throw. He'll get this complete into the hands of Riley Ridley. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. So opening drive, 3rd down, they complete the slant to move the sticks.
And ordinarily, it's a high percentage pass when you throw it. And receivers like to run that route because it gets the ball in their hands pretty quickly. Just a couple of quick steps upfield, break towards the middle, the ball should be there, and then they can get...
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Allen Robinson, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Not a bad way to start it.
And I think that was part of their script because so many teams script their opening possessions, and whether it's just that possession or even deeper into the half, sometimes it's 15 to 30 plays. That had to be one in there where they call a shot play. Go for the big one, and they got it done.
This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here come the Vikings as they get set for their first drive. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and they told me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all. time trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
Yeah, I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. A toss out to Barkley, and that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play.
It'd be real interesting to take a look at this play later, because on this pitch toss play, I get the sense that he just followed the pulling guard or the pulling offensive lineman through that hole and spilled this play early.
Yeah, because he didn't even get to the outer 30. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sent back at the 38. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing the receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Back out onto the field comes Allen Robinson. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. First down, a run with Cohen. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Ready. 30 base.
On 2nd down, it's Cohen. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
50, plant.
They'll try to run for it with Cohen. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll be taken down at the 18. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
Set. 15, run. 15, run. Snap.
A first down carry for Barkley. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards there, first down Vikings.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him, man. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Tackle was made by Jolie Ebuniwe.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 13-yard line. See some head shaking on that defensive sideline because so much focus on taking away what he did last week as an NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Big gain there for him to start.
I love your observation because you would think they'd be prepared for it after what he did the previous week. But sometimes that skill actually intimidates a defense, and he used it to his great advantage. And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. From 3 yards out, and the Vikings have taken the lead. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie.
Touchdown, Minnesota.
After review of the play,
they had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead is now 10-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him. At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. On 2nd down now. It's Cohen, and some room to work. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or... Too shy of the 40. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Taco Charlton in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late.
And the pressure gets to him again. Taco Charlton, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
The competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that will knot us up at 10. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
60 Pittsburgh.
Throwing on first down. Carmichael. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 30 yards.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
And that was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great. Let's go for the end zone. If not, settle for a field goal. Looks like they can try to hit pay dirt. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Carmichael. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Back to throw. Carmichael. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6. As his guys are able to regain the lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And able to take it past the 20 a little bit, but no further. A flag in there as well. Let's see what this is.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
So after the face mask, they get to start all the way up past the 35 now. Back to throw. This one caught by Ridley. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. They'll throw now on the final play. Going to let one fly for Robinson. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. So we've reached halftime here on Christmas Day. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you at home as we take you around the NFL on this 25th day of...
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go!
Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Let's go.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 43. From the gun, Carmichael. Looking left side, and it's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
His throw caught at about the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Operating from the gun, Carmichael. Forced out, touchdown, Minnesota. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
The extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Onto the field now come the Bears. Now, their passing game has certainly been buoyed by some unbelievable catches.
I love that word, because if you're the quarterback, if you're the guy throwing it, buoyed would be
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half. Part of it from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one. Not a whole lot of room to maneuver there, and I think that's because everyone took care of their responsibilities, filled their gaps, held their place. No place for him to run.
Yeah, looked good. Everything got funneled to the nose tackle. They swallowed him up. Now back to throw. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Trying to lay one up, and that's caught inside the 35. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A huge play there for Chicago. 45 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 11 more on that one, and another first down. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now they'll throw here, out of the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Shaquem Griffin.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on first and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
On second down, it's Cohen, and he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And it's caught. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be fourth and goal.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
They stopped him in his tracks. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you got all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision, let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
So from the 36 now, first and 10. They begin with a run by Barkley. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. It was the linebacker Leonard Floyd on the stop. They'll go to Barkley again. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Now they struggled to get him. On the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe we'll get deeper in the game.
On third down, Carmichael. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Looking to throw. Carmichael. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. From 10 yards out. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And, you know, they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
So that drive, 4 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you.
Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
Partner, when you're playing cover 2, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Carmichael. Now they go screen. It's complete. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Saquon Barkley, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough, because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Go now. 18 Gators. 55.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
On the draw, this is Cohen. And an alley to run. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. They'll drop the throw. That is caught by Cohen. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Draw play, Cohen. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. They'll set up to throw. And he's got the hook up to Landry. But he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Now, no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. The Bears on the move. They've got another first down.
Go! 91.
He'll look to throw. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Drew Sample, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears cut into that lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Gotta love the catch. I think you got to love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Saquon Barkley. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Offensive line coaches always tell their guys, if we score touchdowns, that means we got to the end zone first. That's exactly what those blockers did, clearing the Way for their back.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Leaping, and he makes the grab. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. That's complete to the tight end Sample. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out.
And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield, and the Vikings pick up the football. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think
because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out, and no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And they corral them just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They get the first. The decision to run on third and medium winds up being a good one.
60 outlaw. Watch the screen. Pass.
And Barkley will try to punch it in, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point attempt to follow here. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
Let's go!
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
You're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
On first down, Cohen. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Down. 18 Gator. 55 to Mike. Here we go. Hey.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball, a little dangerous, could have been picked. Now it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks him. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this one's going to go out of bounds, so no recovery, but on fourth down, a change of possession anyway. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2, and that will write a finish to this ball game. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Minnesota, they're now a win away from it.